World War II was built on one menacing rule that had absolutely no compassion or empathy in its execution: kill or be killed. Millions of men entered battle armed with rifles, only to pull the trigger without any hesitation. Millions more never came back home. War was a demand for violence, and only those who followed the rules could possibly survive. However, among all these soldiers, there was one that defied the whole rule. One soldier who walked into battle without a single weapon. No rifle, no pistol, and nothing even close to a knife. Instead, he refused to kill. The army called him a weak man. His fellow soldiers despised him. Officiers tried everything to break his will, but there was no end to the war's devastation. Yet at the end of it all, the man who refused to kill saved more lives than any other soldier ever did. This is the true story of Desmond Doss, and the battle that turned him from a so-called coward into a living legend. In the early 1940s, the world was at its fullest. Europe was burning with blood. Asia was collapsing under Japanese invasion, and the Pacific Ocean had turned into a massive graveyard. Japan and the United States were locked in a merciless struggle, island by island, hill by hill, man against man. American soldiers were trained to survive through violence. They were taught one simple truth: hesitation means death. Every soldier had to carry a weapon. Every soldier had to kill. There were no exceptions. Until Desmond Doss arrived. Desmond Doss was born into poverty, quiet and deeply religious, believing in one commandment above all others: thou shalt not kill. When he joined the United States Army, he made a decision that shocked everyone around him. He would serve his country. He would go to the front line. But he would never walk into battle with a weapon. To the Army, this was unthinkable. Officers were accused of cowardice. Fellow soldiers mocked him relentlessly. Some even beat him in his sleep. They called him an useless man, a liability, a man who would be a danger to everyone around him. Court-martial papers were prepared. Prison awaited him. But Desmond Doss refused to change. He didn't run. He didn't fight back. He simply said, "I'm here to save lives." In 1945, Desmond's unit was sent to Okinawa. What awaited them was anything but what they had imagined. The battlefield was known as Hacksaw Ridge, a steep, unforgiving cliff, covered in mud and soaked in blood. Japanese forces were hidden deep within tunnels. Every step forward meant death. Explosions shattered the air. Gunfire never stopped. The wounded screamed for help. American soldiers were being slaughtered. And then the order came: retreat. Most soldiers climbed back down the cliff, desperate to survive. But Desmond Doss stayed, alone on the ridge. No weapon, no backup, no protection. He moved through smoke and darkness. Bodies lay everywhere, some alive, some dying. And Desmond Doss, alone and vulnerable, saved more lives than anyone else. Thus, Desmond Doss became the first conscientious objector in American history to receive the Medal of Honor, not for taking lives, but for saving lives. In a war defined by violence, he proved something extraordinary. True courage is not always about taking lives. Sometimes, it's about refusing to